Guys, welcome back. Let's draw the graphic presentation of follicular waves, hormones and estrous cycle. Let's draw the diagram so that we can understand. This is a master flow chart, rather I can say graph. This is showing two axes. One is the concentration of hormones and second is the days of the estrous cycle. Days of estrous cycle. This axis shows the relative concentrations of or levels of hormones, means how this is increasing or decreasing, and this is the days of estrous cycle. So this is the first point. Let's start this from this word. -6, -5, -4, like this, days, -3, -2, and thereafter -1, 0, then 1, 2, 3, and 4, and so on. We'll try to understand what actually I'm showing. Now see this black box, -6 to -4, you are seeing the concentration of the hormone progesterone 4, it is just at the 4, this progesterone is falling. And once it falls, it goes towards a basal level. What is this page -6 to -4? I can write here, this is the last part of Diestrus, where luteolysis has occurred, and due to the luteolysis, the progesterone level is falling. So in the black pane, what I have drawn, this is progesterone. Now let's come to the blue one that starts from the estrogen, and you see the estrogen at the basal level, now at the -3, when I am starting the, so the FSH level, the FSH level was low. This blue one is FSH, it was low, but here once this progesterone is falling, just have a look that this FSH is now rising, and this FSH is almost at the -1 and 0, it is almost peaking, and then it is again falling its level on the 1 and 2, and it is remaining at a basal concentration. So I am doing this. So this is number 2, which is nothing but the FSH. So number 2 is FSH, this is number 1, this is progesterone. And what more you are seeing, this -4, this -4 to 1, I can write here in the red pane, you can see this one, this is -4, this, and almost -1, this is Proestrus, where this FSH level is rising. And due to this FSH level, now the follicular pooling will occur and the wave is going to be started. That's what I said. If you start the cycle after the luteolysis, the follicles which are undergoing the process of recruitment and selection, definitely dominance will occur. And this is the answer to this. So the FSH is now like this. Now coming to the green pane, you just see the estrogen level, because I need the estrogen level to show. The proestrus is over. Now from this -1 to -1, I can say, see my green one, this is the phase of estrus, and once I'm saying estrus, it is here. This is estrus here, and estrus is going to over. See the LH. The LH is also at the lower level to FSH. Now just see, due to progesterone falling, FSH is rising, and it is attending a very big peak. And this peak is now gradually going to decrease. So here in this diagram, this is number 3, and this is the hormone LH. And this is that point at estrus after 10 to 12 hours, maximum up to 8 hours. This is that surge, the peaking of the LH, where the secretion is going to be. And this LH remains almost high to 0.1, then it goes down, and it maintains it at its normal level. Now you can understand what's going on. Okay, so now coming to again to this red one, where what we are seeing, estrogen level. So the number 1 I shown the progesterone, the number 2 blue color, that is FSH, the number 3 is this LH. But what about estrogen? This estrogen, which is also circulating at its basal level, due to this luteolysis, progesterone is falling, still it is low, gradually rises because FSH level is rising. Now the follicle is there, so now this estrogen is also rising. So this point to be noted, that estrogen remains high, estrus is going on, and thereafter it will also fall. So let me draw one thing, that estrogen remains lower to the peak. So this is estrogen, it shows a plateau, then it falls, and it remains. So the number 4th is the estradiol 17 beta, or I am using the word here itself, estrogen. Now what I am saying, this is the phase diestrus, this is proestrus, this is estrus, and from here to the end, 1 is over. I can start from here. I can use the word mate estrus, and once I am using the mate estrus, now I want to show, see the black one, the progesterone level will start rising, because now mate estrus phase is going on and the cycle will begin. So it is like this. So what has happened here, the proestrus and estrus, that means from here, I can say from here to the estrus here, this is follicular phase. The follicular phase, where the follicular wave cycle has begun, and once this will begin, we'll definitely get a dominant follicle if everything remains okay. This LH surge, what you are seeing, this LH surge is due to high concentration of estrogen. We should remember, because a dominant follicle is going to form. This estradiol, what you are going to see, this is due to the granulosa cells, and these granulosa cells, they convert this testosterone to the estradiol 17 beta due to aromatase activity. And here the concept comes, as I said you, the granulosa cells, they show the receptors for FSH, and the Theca internal cells, they show the receptor for LH. Next class is on 2-cell 2 gonadotropin hypothesis, where we'll see the detailed mechanism. This LH causes the formation of the androgen testosterone. Now the very important point, we are reaching towards the last part. This testosterone will go to the granulosa cells. In the presence of FSH, this will be converted to this estradiol 17 beta aromatase activity. So this is the usual cycle, and this occurs here. But question arises, what actually happens and why the progesterone level is increasing? Why the progesterone is increasing means this part will be almost gone. So try to understand, when the progesterone is increasing, there is another source of progesterone. No doubt, corpus luteum is secreting, no doubt about that. But what happens in the terminal phases, when this estradiol beta formation will be less because of, point to be noted, because of these granulosa cells will express the LH receptors, and also the Theca cells, instead of forming testosterone, they produce progesterone. That's the point to be noted. And due to this progesterone, more amount of progesterone and corpus luteum progesterone, what happens? What happens is that this progesterone and that progesterone will become high, and they will provide negative feedback to the hypothalamus. And once the progesterone is high during the time of metastrus and the diestrus, no follicular recruitment, no follicular selection, no follicular dominance. I can say that FSH cannot reach its peak to carry out the process of recruitment, selection, dominance, and most of the follicles recruited, if at all, they undergo atresia. So this finishes the explanation to the hormone level during the different phases of estrous cycle. I tried my best to show during the follicular phase, the FSH level is high, the estrogen level is going to high. In the diestrus and in the estrus, the terminal phase, due to high estradiol 17 beta estrogen, this LH surge occurs, and thereafter, once the corpus luteum is formed, under the influence of the LH, because LH causes luteinization, and then progesterone secretion starts, and that progesterone and also the Theca progesterone, they provide negative feedback to the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus shut up the secretion of the GnRH. FSH LH levels will start decreasing. What you are saying, when progesterone is rising, they are low. So that lead to a lower circulating FSH and LH, that will cause the further selection, recruitment, dominance process, and the cycle will continue till they will reach the diestrus, where luteolysis occur, progesterone will fall. So this will go in a cyclic manner. So that's why cyclic recruitment process occurs after puberty in every estrous cycle if the animal is not conceived. So this comes to the finished part of the dynamic series in the folliculogenesis, follicular maturation, and understanding the endocrine biology of follicular selection, dominance, and atresia. Stay tuned for my next lecture that will come to understand how the internal mechanisms or molecular mechanisms favor the process of atresia, and what are the molecular signaling of granulosa cells, Theca cells under the influence of the reproductive glycoprotein hormones LH and FSH. Stay tuned. Do not forget to like and subscribe my channel. Please drop your valuable comments. I need your support to establish this channel. Thank you so much. Keep watching. All the best and best wishes.